Getting married is not a problem, it's staying married. There are things to deal with if you must remain in your marriage. You think the issue with your spouse is about him? Somebody is putting the fire. First, he felt that the king was a problem, not knowing there were people behind that made sure she left for another to come in. In this warfare, spare no man. Now, you are born to be Moses. For you to become, you must confront Pharaoh. Now, you are born to be David. For you to become, you must confront Goliath. Now, you are born to be Esther. For you to become, you must confront slavery. She went into slavery in the land of Shushan. That was a warfare. She ascended the throne. For her to remain, she must confront Haman. She confronted Haman to remain a queen. Ladies, getting married is not a problem, it's staying married. There are things to deal with if you must remain in your marriage. Are you aware that it was not the decision of the king Ahasuerus to remove Vashti as his wife? What Vashti did to Ahasuerus was ready to forgive her. But there were certain men in the palace that instigated the king, say, come, oh king, this insult is not for you alone, it's also for us. We will not be alive and see Vashti return back to your house. You think the issue with your spouse is about him? Somebody is putting the fire. First, he felt that the king was a problem, not knowing there were people behind that made sure she left for another to come in. Esther had to fight Haman to remain relevant. Mordecai had to fight Haman to be alive in Shushan. His celebration didn't come. Even when he saved the life of the king, he was not celebrated. If you ask me, I believe that book of remembrance was written and Haman went and hid it. The book that this young man did what he did, where is he? Go and bring it. He hid it somewhere. Do you know that this man called Mordecai and saved the life of the king? After saving the life of the king from those who planned to assassinate the king, he was not celebrated. He was just written somewhere and he was asked to go back to his duty post, remain a gate man. A lot of persons have done businesses that would have changed their life, but certain Hamans have vowed that their effort can never be appreciated. A pastor met me some 3 years back. He discovered his ministry was under severe attack. Nothing was going on. The number remained at 87 people. Doesn't go beyond 87. 3 years he counted it, 87 people. 87. He came to meet me. I introduced him to some certain level of warfare. He started the warfare. Instead of the church to increase, church began to go down. He called me. He said, man of God, we are 87. Last Sunday we reduced and we are about 53. I said, continue your prayer. He came back again. I said, continue your prayer. He didn't know it was pastoring witches until that group of 87 people left. The church didn't grow. I said, they must go. As the last person left, the church surged. What was the issue? We didn't know there was a church here. Warfare is real. To the glory of God, they're over 700 now. From 87. Why? Certain people confiscated the glory of the ministry. 87 in number. Nobody's worried. Life is warfare. Just as you have household enemies, you have church-hold enemies. That was the battle of Ezekiel in the scripture. He was pastoring a church. By the church windows were covens. He didn't something. The warfare of Joseph wasn't his brothers, but Potiphar's wife. Every destiny has equivalent confrontation. If he didn't conquer Potiphar's wife, he wouldn't have ascended. A lot of young people have sold their destinies on the laps of enjoyment. Look up here. If you must overcome the pressure of life, you must avoid the pleasures of life. Pleasure is warfare in disguise. Some of the things you call enjoyment actually devouring your strength. Take a study and statistics of young men who had gone out with people's wife. They are nowhere to be found in destiny. You need to study the peculiarity of your destiny. That will give you a clue on the peculiarity of your warfare. John the Baptist understood baptism but didn't understand warfare. That was why he died. He was very good at baptism but not good at warfare. David said, blessed be God who trained my fingers to fight and my hands to war. When the news got to Jesus that John was in the prison, he said, how come would a man who came in the spirit of liquid fire like Elijah, how was the prison able to contain him? If you are too gentle, you cannot be settled. He said, from the days of John the Baptist till now, the kingdom suffered violence and the violence will take it by force. John the Baptist was there waiting for Christ to come and fight for him, not knowing that the solution was in his hand. Warfare is real. Wake up and fight. And he looked at him and said to him, you cannot go back to Israel, for they that seek the life of this lad are all dead. Men had to die for Jesus to bring salvation. It is the death of men that introduced redemption. You are too cold for what you can. In this warfare, spare no man. If you can lift your hand for just 2 minutes, and while you are lifting your hands, lift your face. You are going to pray a prophetic prayer. Say, Father, unmask the face behind my battles. You can pray that prayer.